Hello, everybody. This is Mike from the Hey, Are You Still There podcast. My wife Beth and I would like to invite you to join us each week as we examine life at the intersection of marriage, family, careers, and ministry. Through 28 years of ministry, 26 years of marriage, 23 years of professional careers, and 21 years of being parents to 3 kids, our fun and honest discussions promise to have something for everyone. And now, on to the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Hey, Are You Still There podcast. This is Mike.
And Beth.
And we're back once again. And as always, we're here to talk about life. Life at the intersection of marriage, family, careers, and ministry. So right now, Beth, how's that intersection working out for you?
Okay. I think people enjoy it when we're funny, but this has not been a funny week. This is a hard week. I think this is a time when the intersection's really hard. Like
there's been a 4-way crash?
Yes, I feel like
let's break it down then. Let's just start at the back. What about ministry? How's ministry been bad this week?
Well, okay, ministry, I guess, isn't bad. That one's, okay, you're right. That one's fine. Nothing's wrong in ministry.
So the ministry car came to a stop like it should have at the 4-way stop.
Yes, at the intersection where Maria has all her car accidents, as we call that intersection now.
Yes, Maria's intersection.
Yeah, Maria's intersection. Yeah, so one car stopped as it should. They were not distracted driving.
For me, I would say my ministry car did a rolling stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing with ministry and the thing with me as a pastor is, and maybe I think some pastors are lonely in that they don't have time to make friends outside of church. And for whatever reason, they keep their distance from people inside the church. These are the pastors that...
And by the way, we can't say for whatever reason. Oh, we are well aware of the reasons that people would make that choice. Because
I think sometimes. But sometimes I think the pastors are just socially awkward.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes
you've
been burned by people, if you've been burned by a church member in the past, you don't feel like you can trust people. I mean, not that that's right, and that's not how I'm choosing now at this stage of life to live, but there have been times when I think, that's a justifiable way to feel. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
But for me, I have always developed deep friendships with people in the church because I don't have time for friendships outside of church. I mean, church takes up most of your time. Ministry takes up most of your time. So one of my very best friends, Luke, has decided to move. Him and his wife have put their house up for sale. They're going to transition temporarily to her parents' home while they kind of sort some things out and decide where they want to move after that. But they had a good opportunity. So this is no slam or fault to them at all. But this is where the lines get blurred. As a pastor and as a friend, Luke was like, Mike, can you come help me move? And this is what I've discovered this week. Moving is a young man's game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm too old to move.
Yeah.
I'm too old.
We're at that age where we're like, we will have to pay someone
to do it.
We will gladly
pay.
Because we can't. But we moved. Every time we moved, we did it on our own. We got friends with trucks that we borrowed. We had friends help us move. We did it ourselves.
And I did not do it begrudgingly. I love Luke and Amanda. And so there was no issues there. But this is one of those.
It's hard on your body.
It's hard on your body. And you feel... as a friend and as a pastor, you want to be there for them and help them out. And so I said, sure, I'll help you move. And I'm going to be paying for this for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, what's interesting about you talking about that with the body is I'm doing this program because I'm, running another half marathon. And so one of the things that I did is I met with I don't know what his title is, but basically he's an exercise specialist, kind of person through work. And I was talking to him about, some of the things that I have. I don't know what it is. I have low back pain. I had an injury years ago, but then also I think my hips are a little out of alignment, stuff like that. So he was talking
You should
about
go see a chiropractor.
no, not doing that. Anyway, we were talking about what we would need to do to figure out what's going on so that as I continue to run, I can do that and not hurt my back. But then I was also telling him, I was like, well, everybody, all the people, they are all saying that I need to be lifting heavy when you're perimenopausal and you're this age. You need to be lifting weights and just forget cardio. But I'm signed up for this half marathon. Plus, for me, I run and walk outside as much for my mental health as anything because I never want to go do it. But just being outside and moving around usually improves my mood and outlook pretty dramatically. I mean, you even saw it yesterday, I think, just going for a walk and stuff made a difference.
I don't know. You were kind of angry last night.
Well, yeah, but think of how angry I would have been without the walk. Anyway, where I was going with all this is, he was just saying, you need to stop looking at all the days that are telling you, that you're not doing enough or whatever. But he was saying too, he said, because I was telling him that I'm training and running these because of my daughter. And I guess I'd made a comment a few times about, well, she was much faster than me or she whatever. And he said, you at 50, your body is not going to recover like it did when you're 20. And he said I'm not saying you can't train and do these things. You can, but he's like, you have to do these physical things. You have to be so much smarter about it. So it's like, where in your 20s or whatever, just go move for 5 days, lift heavy stuff, don't sleep. You do all the things that you do when you're young and you bounce back. But basically it's kind of what you're saying, this even maybe 10 years ago wouldn't be something that you'd be like, wow, I'm going to pay for this. But now that we're older, it's like it just takes so much more time for our body to recover.
Yeah, it does. And it was just Luke and I. And it took us 3 days. We moved his house.
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff in a house. Yeah.
And I don't know why Luke waited until the last day when I was the most tiredest to say, hey, we need to move my sleeper sofa.
It only weighs 800 pounds.
Yeah. I thought Luke was trying to kill me. Yeah. But it all started earlier this week. As we talk about our bodies breaking down, there's a great Christian camp that we've supported for 30 years, Marywood Christian Camp, located in Clemens, North Carolina. And every year they do a big golf fundraiser. It's their big fundraiser to help pay for scholarships for kids that can't afford it. It pays for updates and upkeep at camp, that types of thing. And so every church I've been a part of, we've sponsored Marywood in some way, giving them some money. And so part of that in giving money is in this golf tournament, they'll let you put a team in there. So I've had a team in this golf tournament forever. And so this year decided I usually put together the team with golfers who I think we might actually win, and I'm not a good golfer. And so I'm always the worst one out of the foursome. And we've won twice. I've been on 2 winning teams. And but that's it. So this year I decided this may be our last year sponsoring Marywood. Not because we don't love Marywood, just because at church we're going to do some reorganization with our mission funds. And so I've already let them know I'm not sure we're going to be supporting you guys next year. So this could have been our last year plan in the golf tournament. So I decided I would put together a team made up of people I knew I would have fun with. Not that I didn't have fun with the people who were winning, but sometimes when you play with people who are good,
they're more intense about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play with people who didn't care.
By the way, as an aside, this is what you and Ross have done to the New York Times games for me. Like, it went from just being something that I did for fun to now it's a competition.
It's not, though. I don't care how you do.
We don't have to get off on this tangent. But anyway, I'm just saying, keep going. But that's...
We'll circle back to that. Mm-hmm. So the team was made up of myself, Tim Dixon, who is our lead pastor at the church, and he's been on the podcast before, way early on. My good friend Sean Worrell, and Sean and I have known each other for a long time, and he is a lot of fun. And Jacob came home from college just to play in this tournament with us. So the 4 of us dudes played in this golf tournament on Tuesday, and it was 18 holes. I don't know the last time I played 18 holes. So I woke up Wednesday to go help Luke move, and I could barely move.
Yeah.
Like, it was so stupid. Like, here, I'm just playing golf, but just swinging your body and doing stuff that using motions and movements and muscles that I typically don't use, or when I do, I don't use that much. I mean, I was already sore going into the big move, and now I have 3 days of moving on top of that.
Well, also, I just find, too, you get sore and stuff in weird places. So Maria had her fall break, so I know it will shock everyone, but we went to Disney for a few days. And I know I've talked about, like, okay, I'm out running and I walk for exercise, but Disney's a different type of thing because you'll walk really fast to get somewhere. Then you stand there, just standing on your feet, and then you walk really slow a little bit. Then you stand, then you walk. And the reason I say all that is I had so much foot pain, you know, like in my heel to the point that I thought, oh gosh, I hope I'm not getting plantar fasciitis. Like by my arch, like I kept having to do all these stretches and stuff.
Which, on a side note, every time you have a body ache, you think of worst case scenario.
I do. I think that it's going to put me out of everything.
Beth's on her feet for 14 hours straight at Disney. Her foot hurts, and she calls me and says, "Do you think I have foot cancer?"
No, I didn't.
I'm like, no, you're just...
No, I did not say foot cancer. It's more like, do you think I have plantar fasciitis and I'll never be able to walk?
Do you think I've tore my Achilles tendon?
But I say all that to say, it's just, again, I would ask Maria, hey, are your legs sore? Are your feet hurting? No, it's fine.
She's 30 years younger than
I know, but it's just that for me, this is like, I don't know. It's just hard to process. I mean, and it's not that I don't accept it. I'm not saying that I'm not running around, getting Botox and hair extensions and fixing my face up and trying to look 20 years younger or doing anything like that. But it's more, I think more for me, this whole, I don't know. I guess I thought as I aged, the thing that would bother you more, it would, as a woman, I guess I thought I'd be really sad about how I looked. But that hasn't been it as much, I think, as it is just like the impact it's having on my body's ability to do the things like I used to. That's been harder for me to adjust to.
Yeah. Maria saw me gingerly moving around the house last night. She's like, "What's wrong, Dad? Your gout acting up?" Because I used to have gout. Yeah. And I was like, "No, I'm just old. Like, I'm just sore." It was from a whole day of golfing and then 3 days, now 3 days of moving.
Yeah.
Like, my body is hurting.
Yeah.
And so we're going to circle back to two things you mentioned. You shot down chiropractors pretty quick. What if we have chiropractors that are listening to this show?
No, this has nothing. Okay.
Why don't you want to go to a chiropractor? Your body is aching. If your hips are out of alignment, they can fix that.
Okay, I'm not going to have this debate on the show. I have been to a chiropractor 1 or 2 times. I did not and will never let them touch my neck. It
makes me want to get up and do it right now.
No,
I just want to pop your neck right now.
And I feel like whatever I have let's just say that I feel like physical therapy would be a better route for me than the chiropractor.
Physical therapy is a snake oil salesman.
I'm sorry.
Chiropractor is the way to go.
I just don't understand how having things popped around. Yeah. I mean, if it were that easy to put things back in, quote, alignment, I don't know, like with scoliosis or these other things, why you would have the need. And again, I do believe there's got to be studies and stuff. I'm not saying that it can't relieve some pain and stuff. I'm not saying that. But for me, I think with what the issues I have, I think I need to stick with the plan that I'm on, which is to talk to this exercise person and maybe a physical therapist.
That's what Big Pharma wants you to do.
Yeah, because I'm taking no medicine at all.
I'm just telling you, they're all run by the insurance companies. To me, I like chiropractors because they're like the Wild West. Yeah. They believe in something. They're gonna do what they want, and by God, give the middle finger to the rest of the medical world. And the rest of the medical world just treats them like you're the black sheep of the family, the ugly stepchild. I love my chiropractor.
I know.
I need to go back. I hadn't been in a few months, and every time I want to go, something else is about to happen. You know,
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go on a mission trip, and I'm like, well, I'll go when I come back. Well, then I come back, and then it's like, oh, but I have this coming up. And so in my mind, I keep waiting until I don't want to go undo what they're doing.
Right.
You know? And so I don't think I have anything planned after this weekend. So next week, I think I'm probably going to go to the chiropractor and let him snap me back into shape.
And I know
I do feel better.
I know the other thing you want to circle back to is that comment about the New York Times and fun teams versus not fun or competitive teams or whatever when you were talking about that.
I was just going to bring up that now we've added strands.
Yes. Yes, that's our new game.
So explain strands to the fans that don't know the New York Times games or strands.
Okay, so strands looks like we used to call them word searches, right? Isn't that what we call them? Essentially,
jumbled up
letters. And then, you would look for the words. But the difference with strands is you're not getting individual hints or words. You have this jumble of letters, and they give you a hint, and it may be the force. I don't know. I'm making this up. I'm not doing it good. But so the force could mean a whole lot of things. We don't know what it is. But like as you scan, you may finally see the word Star Wars in there. And so, you'll get Star Wars as your word. And then you may see Jedi, and so you're picking the words. But it's not always, the clue is not always obvious. Like, what was the one that we were doing? And it was the last one, not today's. I haven't done today's, but yesterday's. What was that clue? It was something about, it's going to drive me crazy now. It had to do with something, though, like packing or games.
It was on the case.
On the case, yes.
On the case was the clue.
Yeah,
and
which could be...
It could be a million different things.
It could be a suitcase. It could be a case of... drinks.
It end up being souvenirs.
Yeah.
Like stuff you would bring back in your suitcase.
Yeah. And so then you had to do it. Yeah. So that's why it can be tricky. And also the other thing is so all of these words show up in blue when you get them right.
There's 6 to 7 words.
And there's no crossover. Like once you use a letter, that letter's done. So it's not like the word searches where they might overlap.
Well, and the other thing that's interesting about strands that the normal, word search isn't. It zigzags.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a normal word search.
Yeah, it's all vertical or diagonal or horizontal. The letters can go not just forward and backwards.
Left, right,
exactly.
like a ladder going up.
Yeah,
or something.
and then part of them are going forward and part backwards. But all the letters have to be connected. And then they have what they call the spanogram or whatever. And that one's in yellow. And it's one that stretches from one end of the puzzle to the other. What makes the game, it doesn't sound like it'd be that hard, but what can make it hard is like, okay, so let's say the one, it was all about souvenirs, and I had something like refrigerator magnet or something. Well, refrigerator, if I'd picked that as one word, that's not going to count. And so it would put it in a thing. And if you get 3 words that aren't the right words, then once you get 3 words, you can get a hint and it will show you. So what we're trying to do with strands is to complete strands without getting any hints. And so that's
that's what you're doing. That's not what I'm doing.
Yes. Okay. Here's the other thing.
Here's the first thing. You and Ross were doing strands.
Yes.
And y'all were asking for hints like crazy. So I was like, I don't even know what strands is.
But that was because I didn't even fully understand what I was doing with strands.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So then I start playing strands, and I'm like, okay, I don't love it yet, but it's interesting. It's kept my attention more than like pips or whatever it is that y'all do, the domino one. And then once I started getting a few, I just made the comment to y'all. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to do this without getting any hints.
Yeah.
Which Ross thought at the time was impossible.
Right.
And then I did it. And then now it's become yours and Ross's thing.
Yes.
It's like, we want to finish this with no hints. Well, it's kind of like once you've climbed Everest, it's like, all right, I'm not going to keep going back to Everest. Like, I'll keep hiking, but I don't care. And so I've already conquered, I feel like, strands. I was the first to conquer it. I was Sir Edmund Hillary of strands. I did this before anybody else did.
Gosh,
I did it without any hints.
Ridiculousness.
And now y'all are following me, and that's fine. now I just do it for fun. I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I get hints or not.
You don't do it for fun, because I shared one of the things that I'd done and you gave it a thumbs down and like on something on the. So we have a text string.
That's called mind games, Beth.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. But now you've sucked the joy out of New York Times games. I'm going to have to go find something else. Like, I will continue to do it. The other thing that we found out that then depressed me, if you miss a day, it ruins your streak, So it's not like if you just lose something. If you miss a day, it ruins your streak.
Yeah, but we have streaks, and I assumed it meant winning streak.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't know it meant
games.
If you missed a day, then your streak was over.
And I missed a few days, with like travel or different things. So anyway,
Laziness.
It's like you have taken something that was beautiful and you've made it ugly.
That's how I start my morning now. When I go to Panera, I sit down to get my mind activated. I do, Wordle?
Yeah.
And then I do connections, and then I do strands.
Yeah.
And once I knock those out, I feel like my brain is engaged.
And you're ready to go.
And then I'll do my devotional or my Bible study or and then I'll answer some emails, and then I'll go about my day. But Wordle, connections, strands are the three things that I use to kind of jumpstart my brain.
I wish the New York Times game section would now sponsor us and then give us a free subscription, because that was the other thing. Maria and I loved the mini crossword, and now you have to subscribe to get it. And
we missed out. We should have done what Ross did.
I know Ross jumped, but I didn't know that. But I didn't know that the other things were going to go under subscription. All of those. But anyway. So we got way off topic, but we were talking about how ministry.
That was the ministry call.
Yeah, I'm like.
So ministry this week made me help move a friend.
Yeah, and then the only other thing you had asked about me ministry is like that we're already starting to work on our gift mart. Collecting toys and figuring out signing up our clients and things. So this is the time, and I love that event. But this is a time of year I feel like, from this point forward, is kind of like your foot's on the accelerator from now until Christmas, because I feel like we have our Fall Fest at church. I'm doing something for Advent that will relate to my book, but an Advent event that we're going to have at church. We will have the gift mart. And then in January, we do a women's half-day retreat. So I need to write that, So writing the book took me away from writing the half-day retreat.
Is the book published yet, Beth?
No.
What are you waiting on? Ross edited it.
And he sent me, I've got to look at his comments.
Ross read 2 books this year.
I'm so
he
proud
said
of him.
Those were the first 2 books he's probably read since 4th grade.
I'm like, okay.
And somehow he graduated college.
I read 2 books in the past week or whatever, but okay. Anyway.
The other thing that happened in ministry, and I didn't tell you this, is I got a text from a friend he's a friend, but he goes to our church. And it was just a really nice text. Just I guess something I had preached this past Sunday kind of resonated with him and helped him make a decision that he had been struggling with. And, he just went on, not just that, but just thanking me for being a pastor and being a friend and blah, 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 blah. And so those comments, as you know, are very few and far between.
And you have to put them in a special folder or something where you can go back and look at them. I've already
copied, pasted it into my notes so I can go back and read that when I feel like I'm a failure.
Because, we have because we'll fixate on the one bad comment and it'll drown out the 13 other great ones or whatever.
I used to. No, I don't anymore.
You don't?
I don't care.
Oh, I wish I didn't care.
I don't know what's happened to me.
It's a good thing, though, to care less.
I do care less.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So
when I say I couldn't care less, I literally mean I couldn't care less. It's not just a figure of speech.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I have to give you, last night, I have 2 friends. We'll call them Chris and Sarah, and they texted out of the blue and said that they were listening to the Christmas decorations episode, and Sarah said that she's in my corner. She's about ready to take out her Christmas plates right now. And Chris said she's behind, but there are hidden listeners. And I was like, I've got to call you out on the podcast. I don't know, too, after the other week, you probably made Marissa mad. She hasn't texted, but she may not listen to us anymore. So we have to pick up the other secret listeners.
Oh, look at that. Lost one, picked up two. I'm fine with that.
You have to try not to offend people.
You offended all chiropractors.
I didn't mean to. You're the one that was asking me about it. And I never said that there's anything wrong with people going to the chiropractor. I'm just saying that I am not choosing to go to the chiropractor for my current issues.
I have another lady that I've known through church circles. She don't go to our church, but I just know her from previous church circles. And I had put something up every week on the Facebook. I'll say, all right, new episode's out. Well, then she commented. She was like, where do I listen to this? And she's older.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just click that link that I just put on there. I mean, it's not hard. You know, I said it more graciously than that.
Yeah.
And
You're like, it's not rocket science.
And she was like, where have I been? I didn't even know you were doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you've got 58 episodes to catch up on, so get busy.
Yeah.
And then a couple of people replied, you should listen to this episode first. It's the best. You should listen to this one. And so people have their favorites.
It's all interesting what people's favorites are.
Yeah.
But,
This week won't be anybody's favorites, especially if your name's Dr. Adam Myler and you're a chiropractor here in Kernersville.
I like him. Okay, anyway, just keep going. Okay, what?
All right, so that's the ministry car.
Yeah.
Career car. What's your career car?
So
Because my career car is the same as the ministry car.
Well, I'll have to tell you in a minute, but part of mine goes along with moving. So there's just been a lot of things changing, as consistently seems to be the game. I think if you work in healthcare, you just have to be completely used to change, you know, like changing in reporting relationships, changing in things like that. So that's an adjustment just because you're learning like a new boss and like what they want. You're learning new systems. You're meeting new people that you're working with. You're doing all those sorts of things. But on top of that, so for the first, well, basically from when I started at the medical center for years and years and years, I worked in the same building. I moved across the hall one time, maybe about 5 years in. I moved across the hall, and then I had that office that was across the hall. You know, I don't know how many years it would be up till 2020 when COVID happened, but 14 years or so, you know, in the same office. I had accumulated a lot of stuff. And I had I had picture frames full of pictures of family, of friends, of mission trips. And then I ran out of room on the shelves for all the picture frames. So then I would bring in pictures and had them like thumbtacked. We had those walls, like you could kind of had them all over the walls. I had books that I'd had since law school because, you know, I've talked about before my love of books, and I used to dream of having this big library, and it just felt wrong to get rid of them. So they had to bring this huge container, and I got rid of a lot of stuff and moved all that stuff home. This is during COVID. And then we ended up getting some office space in this other building called Piedmont Plaza. And so we moved our stuff in there, and it was kind of like a suite. And so we had like a couch donated and stuff, and had to kind of redo it. But I was like, I'm not putting as much stuff in there, but then I still have a lot of stuff. So now I'm moving back to the building where it all started, a different office. It'll be a different office than I've ever been in, but that building. But they're also doing all this construction at our hospital, and parking's an issue. So I have to still park at Piedmont Plaza. So they don't move our stuff. It's up to us to move it. So I went through again and tried to make myself get rid of a lot of stuff. I tried to bring home just 1 or 2 boxes, box up everything else. And then I'm like, what am I going to do with this, and how am I going to get it over there? Because I can't even park over there. So I got my friend Kristen.
Why are you doing this?
Well, wait a minute. So let me just finish.
You've worked there for over 20 years. You are senior legal counsel. Mm-hmm. Why in the world are you having to move all this junk?
I have no idea.
You've got to step up and be like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, that's right. And they'll be like, no, we don't.
I mean, they do.
Anyway, so we're moving all this stuff. So Kristen and I put her stuff and my stuff in her car. So then the other day we go and we find this cart, okay? And it is kind of a plastic cart on wheels. And we're like, okay, we're going to put our boxes of things on this cart and then we'll roll
It's
it
probably
through.
used to transport medical waste.
I don't know what it is. No, it was up in the office
There
area.
was dried blood on it and other bodily fluids.
It was in the office area. So anyway, we get the cart down there and Kristen goes to get her car to drive it around. So I'm standing with the cart, standing guard over this, plastic cart on wheels. And Kristen comes. Well, we've got our car full of these boxes. And then we realize that the boxes are like just an inch or two too tall to even slide in the shelves on the cart. So the only thing that'll fit on the cart, she had one box that she could slide on like the middle shelf. And then we turned around to put two of our big boxes on the cart. And I was like, okay, I'll stand with this, or maybe we can take these boxes out and sit them here. There was a guy he's the valet person, and we were like, maybe he'll watch our boxes. Well, as I'm moving around.
You probably could have just found a homeless guy outside to come in and help you carry this stuff. Day labor.
So as I move around, my butt, I guess, hits the cart. The whole cart turns over everywhere. Now, we are outside on the sidewalk, outside of one of the buildings, that has patients and employees and everything walking by. And the lids come off the boxes. All this stuff scatters. Everything from picture frames to the little squeezy stress ball to, your stapler and your Kleenex box. It's all over the sidewalk. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. So we quickly pick all that back up, get the stuff back on the cart. Didn't break anything, thank goodness. Ask the guy if we can leave the boxes there, leave two of the boxes, and then try to wheel this cart all the way up the sidewalk into the building, and back up there. And when we get it there, we're like, well, we're not going to take that cart back down because the cart's worthless, We'll just carry the boxes. But we didn't account for the two boxes that we'd left were basically the heaviest boxes. So then we start to try to carry these heavy boxes. And thank goodness they have these people that drive these golf cart things, not golf cart things. And so he stopped and was like, put down something and let us do the boxes. And then we're trying to get our arms under the boxes and stuff to get them up there and get all this unloaded.
Are you dressed professionally when this is happening?
Yes. And that is this is one of the days that it was unusually hot. So I am wearing dress shoes, dress pants, a dress shirt. My hair, in theory, was fixed. By the time I'm doing all this, I'm sweating. My hair is matted to my head. I haven't had lunch. I have scattered all my stuff and just been embarrassed and thrown it in the boxes. So anyway, that's kind of that's just a little small glimpse of what has been going on with me.
That's a microcosm of your life, Beth.
It is. It's
just one big hot mess.
Just me just trying to I'm kind of organized. I'm putting it all in the box to then just everything going everywhere for everybody to see.
Caused by your big back.
Yes.
As Maria would call it.
Yeah, exactly. That was what it was. So it was quite the ordeal. So work has, anytime you're doing all of that too, it's just a little stressful because oh yeah, I've got to get my mailbox moved or I have to do these other things. And then we have this lady, Beverly, that she's the administrative assistant that helps us a lot. And she said she's retiring. And I found that out pretty much. No, her family is amazing. Her mom worked at the hospital. She works at the hospital and her daughter did. And Beverly, I don't know what I'm going to do because she's the one. She's been there so long. So, when there's things that I just can't get done or can't figure out who to talk to, she's able to figure it out. And so
it sounds like you should have went to her and say, hey, can you get my stuff moved?
I should have been magically make this stuff.
I mean, that's what your assistants are for.
But she's fabulous. And so she's going to be retiring. So that's sad too. So I just say, it's just a lot of things like that changing at work. So career-wise, I think that's challenging. And that's not even, I mean, everybody has challenges in their career, like laws changing or the business world changing or things. But like this is in addition to your normal work that you have to do, just the stress of like moving offices and then,
I get it. I'm going to be changing careers here pretty soon. I've got about 7 months left of ministry, and then we can figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, what are you going to be then?
I don't know. I got until May to figure it out.
That's what mm-hmm.
Josh asked me the other day, we were driving the car, and he said, Dad, what are you going to do when you retire next year? Like, he legitimately, I've talked about it so much.
I know,
Josh
but you're
believes
not
it.
retiring. You're not. Because, in case you've forgotten, we still have Jacob's in college and Maria's in college and Joshua will be in college. So you're not retiring. But I do love the fact that you can talk about it and Josh just believes it's happening.
My comic booth and my books will be selling so well.
That then it's just going to make up for...
I'll just Joel Osteen it. I'll just live off the royalties on my books.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then you can just be like, I'll just do all the other stuff for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I got an amazing review last night. I read it to you and you're like, oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah. It was a great book review.
It was a great, I've got nothing but 5 stars.
Yeah.
I just need to sell more.
It's like, yep, there you go.
Buy my book.
Yes. Okay. So what
all
was...
right. So we've talked about the cars of, you wore me out already. Cars of ministry, the cars of career, approaching the intersection. Yeah. The ministry car, rolling stop type thing for both of us. The career car. I'm stopping and asking directions because I don't know what's next in my career in 7 months.
And I literally crashed and everything flew out of my car.
You were that old jalopy going through the intersection that were just like, that looks like you're living out of your car.
Yeah, and then everything just scatters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, let's just go to marriage.
Yes.
What's been wrong with the marriage car?
Well, nothing's wrong.
You hadn't even been home most of the week.
Well, maybe that's what's wrong. See, I've missed you. There you go.
Well,
that's
now I
what's
know you're lying.
Yeah.
So you haven't missed me at all.
No, I'm not saying. But I think, the marriage car, I think it's fine. It's just like now it's navigating. It's not that the marriage itself it's hard, but then when we talk about like the family, the kids' car and like the extended family and things going on, and you talk about all the other stuff, I mean, it's that piece in the midst of all that like you've got all this chaos around it.
Well, if I'm driving the marriage car,
mm-hmm.
you have me wanting to swerve into oncoming traffic and just end it.
Why? What have I done in the marriage car? What have I done?
Yesterday, you text me, why did you put this on this credit card? Yes. I have one credit card in my wallet. I don't know what. I'm supposed to put something on.
I had let you borrow that credit card to book a flight, and that was
it's
the only
card.
thing you were supposed to use the card for.
Well, you didn't tell me that. I just swapped it out.
It's a given. That is a foregone conclusion. This is supposed to be an assumption. Like, okay, you have if you used your Apple Wallet, you have a default card. Okay? Like Apple Wallet set up electronically and you can have 15 cards in there, but there's one card that's your default. That's the card that's going to pop up. That's the normal card that I have you carry around, right? Sometimes you will say, I need to book a flight, and because we'll get a free bag with the flight or what have you, I will say, use this card to book the flight. You should always know.
What did my Delta card get me? You know what it got me? Sitting on row 33 in the middle seat for 4 flights. What did that Delta card do for me when I flew to Colorado last week?
Delta enough for it to,
So why do I even use it?
Because you do get more points for booking Delta on a Delta card. But anyway, my point is, you should know that that's a one, unless I say, Mike, this is your new default. This is the card you use for everything. You should assume that if you've asked me about a card for a specific use, that is a one-time occurrence.
I have
and
a
then
stack
you put the card
of 37 credit cards that you have. Yes, I do. That you have ordered in my name. I have never ordered a credit card. I don't even know how one goes about getting a credit card, but I have all these in my name, and I had to pull them out last night and then dump them in your lap and say, then show me the one I'm supposed to use.
And I did. And I have no idea. This is my other thing. Who only carries one card in your wallet? Like,
I don't even need that. I have my debit card.
no, because this is the whole thing. And this is where you and Maria, y'all were laughing so hard. And I'm like, so the family likes to laugh as I'm like, you need to use this card for this, or you need to use this card for that. But no one's laughing when you're reaping the benefits of the free flight or the free hotels. This little bit of work that I ask you to do goes along with it. I'm keeping all this in my brain.
And that's fine. I have no problem. But this is I will do what you tell me to do. You never said, use this card, give it back, and take this one back.
I thought that it could be assumed. I'm sorry, I know we can't assume anything. But again, I did not think that I needed, that would be like me saying, please make sure you continue to breathe air throughout the day. Like, you should just know to breathe.
Quite a stretch.
No, that is the way. This has not changed. I mean, so I didn't know I needed to
oppositional defiance in me right now makes me want to go get all those credit cards and cut them up in front of you.
It's okay.
One at a time.
You want to know why it's okay?
Why?
Because I have mine. You're just an authorized user. I don't care.
But I won't be using it. Look at all that I do, all that I buy for us, and it'll just be going on my debit card.
Well, and then when you, like, everything is taken out of your account and you have no money, you can live with the consequences.
I have
of
very
that,
little money in there anyway.
That is one thing. Yes. That part is true. There's very little for somebody to steal or to take. Yes.
Because the only thing that goes in that checking account with the debit card is my very small ministry check to which I pay bills with. So, I mean, what somebody takes it, what they going to get? Nothing. They ain't getting nothing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that I have stressed you out in the marriage world with that. But, I mean,
it was just, you came at me pretty strong and I didn't know any better.
Well, okay. Yeah, the reason you do know better, and that the listeners don't know this, and I'm not going to go back through this, but when you used to use that other card that I told you never to use, and you continued to use it, and then last night you were telling Maria you were going to use the green card, and I'm like, no. I mean, then you just were instigating. You were just trying to rile me up.
Again, I want to walk over there right now and pull out the one that you told me to use and put that green card in it.
And you know what? And if I were really serious about this, I could do what other people do. I did create an Excel spreadsheet, and it tells me based on the cards I have, like, which card do I get maximum point value for purchasing groceries? Which card do I get maximum point value for purchasing gas? Which card can you do online groceries, but it won't work in the grocery store? I mean,
It's killing our marriage, Beth.
No, it's not. Yeah. That's quite the exaggeration.
There's been plenty of marriages that credit cards have ruined the marriage.
That's because people get into credit card debt,
Exactly.
not because the husband doesn't listen to what the wife told him to do.
Exactly.
I mean,
but it's still the credit card that's the wedge being driven between us.
Okay. The issue here is that you're not listening and following instructions.
You didn't give me instructions. That's the lesson.
I will break it down. You know what? And I have learned
I am
my
a
lesson.
simple man. I just need you to show me.
And from now on, I'm going to give you like a 4-step plan.
Yes.
Take this card.
Yes.
Use it for this transaction. Return this card. Never use it again.
I'm fine with that.
Yes. And then, or the 4th step can be go back to using
and
other
when
card.
can I use that Sorcerer Mickey card I have?
Never.
Then why do I even have it?
Because you opened it back in
I didn't
when
open
Maria and Jacob
I think
were
you
in middle
opened it
school
so we could get some kind of credit.
No, you opened it.
No.
All those, yes, you did. This is one of those old cards that we've had forever.
I think it gave us you got it.
It did give us a gift card.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in the game, I would have never opened that card for what we got for it. It wasn't worth it. But it's okay.
Well, I'm about to use it this weekend.
No, you're not. You're not using it.
Yeah.
Okay, children.
So for me, it's a mixed bag. One child is just easy peasy. He's always easy peasy.
We should have said he, because then now everyone's going to know.
Everybody
that it's not
knows
the
which one isn't. One kid, he's easy peasy.
Yeah.
The other kid, it was fun. I got to play golf with him on Tuesday, and now he'll be, this is Friday, we're recording this. He'll be home within the next 15 minutes. So we'll be wrapping up this podcast pretty soon. But he and I are going to Auburn, Alabama, and we're going to go to the Auburn, Georgia football game. And we've never been to an SEC football game. And we're going down there this weekend. And so,
because this was our birthday gift to Jacob.
Yeah. Jacob is the world's biggest Cam Newton fan.
Like, he used to say he was in like the Cam Newton Defense Force or something like that. Like,
he did.
Just obsessed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jacob studied apologetics for Cam Newton.
He did, yes.
So he could defend his faith in Cam.
Yes, exactly.
And so Cam is getting his jersey and number retired by Auburn football. There's only been 3 other people ever in their history to have their number retired. And so for his birthday, we got him tickets. Josh, Jacob, and I are going down there, just the 2 of us. And we're going to go down to the Auburn game. And
I
at
would
some
like
point,
the record to reflect how sacrificial it is that this was supposed to be a weekend that would be spent with me for my birthday, because Maria will be out of town on my birthday. And I sacrificed because I wanted to give this to Jacob. But I just would like everybody to know what a sacrifice this is for me to not get to be with Jacob.
yeah, it is a sacrifice, but it's also not your birthday.
Well, no, but
Your birthday's in 2 weeks.
I know, but I'm saying, anyway, never mind. Keep going. But the whole family was going to be together for my birthday. And now they're not, which is okay, because I was the one that was like, oh, we need to do this. But I'm just saying, I'm very sad and jealous that I'm not going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that FOMO.
It is. But it's also just that I would love to be there. But it was going to be expensive, and logistically, it just wasn't going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're leaving here in just a little bit as soon as he gets here home, and then we're going to head down to Alabama and go see the football game tomorrow night, and then we'll come back Sunday. So next
you're
week,
cruising along
I'll
in
be
that
able
car
to tell
for
you
those. Yeah.
all about going to our first ever SEC game.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we have that. And then we have our other child.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I was trying to explain to Luke today as we were moving. These COVID kids, and it really started way, way back when parents and teachers and coaches started giving out consolation trophies, right?
Yeah.
Every kid gets a trophy.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? They did that because they didn't want some kid feeling left out.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want some kid feeling bad about themselves because their team didn't win a trophy or they didn't get a trophy. So be it. Well, it slowly has been building and building and building. And then COVID just kind of was like the adrenaline shot for, we don't want kids nowadays to feel bad about anything.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want them to feel sad. We don't want them to feel bad. We don't want them to feel guilt. We don't want them to feel disappointed. We don't want them to feel anything but happy. And so when a kid feels less than happy, they don't know how to deal with it because we haven't taught them how to work through your emotions in school. We hadn't taught them how to work through their emotions at the home level.
And partly, some of us are still figuring out how to work through our own emotions to model it appropriately. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, God gave us these emotions for a reason.
Yeah.
He didn't just give us happiness. He gave us sadness. He didn't just give us joy. He gave us disappointment. It's all of these things. And so...
And even anxiety and fear serve a purpose.
Right. All of that does. And so, our family ain't perfect. Maria and I butted heads over something. And I had to point out, hey, look, I think, you didn't do this right. You didn't handle this correctly. And that's, to me, I'm pointing out facts, right? And I felt like, and I believe I was very gracious in that. I wasn't I wasn't a jerk about it. I was just, and it made her feel bad. And so, but her response is, why are you making me feel bad about this? Now you've made me feel guilty. And I try to explain to her, no, I haven't.
You're just feeling guilt based on the circumstances. I
pointed out what's going on.
Yeah.
You feel bad or you feel guilty, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's part of life. You're going to disappoint people. You're going to feel sad because you didn't handle something correctly, or you're going to feel sad because something didn't go your way. Like whatever it may be, like these are all emotions that we have to feel. And to the extreme, I think there's a lot of parents that their kids aren't happy. They want them to feel happy. So what do? They go to the doctor and get some happy pills, And there's a lot of people who need to be on medication. I'm on medication. I'm on depression medication and anxiety medication. Like I'm on it, right?
Yeah.
But I think the easy way out when you're dealing sometimes with teenagers and kids going through puberty and kids going through just, their hormones are going snap, crackle, pop, and they're going through like just the change of just life, of becoming from an adolescent to an adult and all the chemical changes and all the
now,
feelings.
as they call what Jacob and Maria are, they are emerging adults is what they call it, because everything has been delayed in our society. Like, it used to be adolescence and then you became an adult.
Right.
Well, they've recognized that there's a stage now in between when these kids are not independent, because it's not like they jumped. Because like for us, like once we graduated college and we were married and living independently, that's not happening. So there's this emerging adult stage that's like they're much more adult-like than they were as adolescents, and much more, they're legally adults too, mature, but they still are dependent on their parents.
And COVID had a huge part of that.
Yes.
A massive part of that.
Yeah.
And again, I think parents, guardians hate to see their kids upset. And so the easy thing to do is, well, let's just give you something to get you through this so you can feel better later. And they're not letting them feel and experience and grow in the emotions that God gave us sometimes.
But I do have to say, in the defense of us as parents and what we went through with COVID, what was so hard was, besides it being a global pandemic, but nothing like that had ever happened before. And for us having teenagers, it was happening at probably one of the most vulnerable times for them as far as our brain development and everything. And they were missing out on, that's the other thing people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they weren't going out and dating or going to parties or having prom or doing like these normal kid things that you do where you make dumb mistakes while you're a teenager living at home with your parents. So then they got a little bit of that when they went back, but it wasn't quite. But I think what made it so hard for us as parents is kids were getting so anxious and depressed during that time, and rightly so, because I was anxious and depressed. I couldn't process what was happening as a fully functioning adult who's had therapy and has a toolbox to use. They didn't have that. And so for me, I struggled oftentimes with the kids. They're going through puberty. They're having these chemical changes. We're having a global pandemic. They're stressed and depressed. It wasn't too that I didn't want them to not feel sad, but it was scary because there were kids dying by suicide, hurting themselves. Like, it was just such an awful time that I feel like, and we were together all the time. So I feel like the tendency was, we're all in this house together and we can't leave. So where normally we might have been to somebody, like if they were having a breakdown, like, okay, you need to go deal with that. I'm going to go out and do whatever, or, I'll be out of the house. You can calm down. We couldn't do that. We were all homebound. And so I think that we enabled a little bit of the emotional stuff without even meaning to, because we didn't know how serious.
And we've talked about
some of this was.
That was the origin story of the lawnmower parent.
Yeah.
Let me mow down all the problems in front of you so you don't have to deal with these heavy things or difficult things.
Right.
And I think this is part of it. We as parents, or we as adults, coaches, teachers, whoever, guardians of these kids, we want to mow down the weeds in their life. They're going to make them sad or disappointed or feel guilty. And that's what I was trying to explain to Maria in our argument, is that, I'm not the one making you feel this way. I'm pointing this out.
Something you've done in your decision making is now causing
and
you to
may feel sad,
feelings.
And you may feel like you've disappointed somebody.
Right.
And that's okay. That's
Right.
the thing we need to tell our kids. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel a little bit of guilt about something.
Because that
and-
signals that maybe you need to change your behavior next time,
right.
you know,
That's the
and
only
do it
way
a
you're
little,
going to learn.
or maybe you need to apologize and repair the relationship
Right.
or what have you.
Exactly. And I think when we're mowing down these problems or situations, if I had pulled back and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel sad. I didn't mean to make you feel guilty. That's not what
Yeah.
that's inadvertently, that's me taking away the emotion that she needed to feel, even as a 20-year-old woman now,
Right.
to work through and move on,
And deal with consequence. And we're not even, this wasn't even anything
It wasn't even a
bad.
major deal.
This is nothing. Like
This is
what she
just
was upset about is like something that's
so
like,
minor.
yeah, but it just shows like, but to her it felt big. And also I think, thinking through the consequences of like, well, these decisions I've made brought me to this point. If I don't want to feel this way in the future, I need to think about how I will change my decisions, next time.
Right.
Or I'll keep doing the same thing and keep feeling this way, most likely. But it's not us doing that.
And Luke has twin daughters. They're going to be 3 at the end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, Luke, only by the grace of God did I survive 1 teen daughter. I have no idea how you're going to survive 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke's a scientist by trade. And Luke just looked at me and was like, you can't rationalize with them, and blah, blah, blah. They don't understand this. And I'm like, you poor, stupid man.
I want to have a video camera when he's rationalizing with the teenage girls. I mean, please, we have to go back and listen to this podcast and we have to use whatever technology is available and be like, please, Luke, just wear GoPro around, during this time when your girls are 15 and let us just watch a day or two. We want to see how the rationalizing, the rational statements go. We want to see how that works out for you. Yeah. But it's hard.
It is hard.
And it's hard, I think, with the parenting. I've talked a lot about this. It's one of the things I'm talking to my therapist a lot about. This whole parenting thing has turned into this like just constant, slow letting go a little more, a little more every day, opening your hands and letting go more and more and more. And that's sad and hard, and the selfish part of me would like to just be like, no, don't do all these things. Just stay with me. But, I know that's not what they need. So that's part one, is me just dealing with my own stuff in the like letting go. But the other thing that's hard is now that there is this like emerging adult category, which I do understand why it's a real thing, because it is this transition point, generationally. It's really hard for us to know what to do. Sometimes I think, like, if we see the kids doing something and we're like, I don't know if that's wise, or I don't know if they're paying enough attention to school, or they're doing too much extracurricular, then one thing you could do, they're still financially dependent on us. We could be like, okay, well, we're not going to give you, as much money. But then does that really teach them? I think what I'm struggling with is, the consequences of poor decisions get more and more dramatic, the older they get, like the decisions that they make. And it's like, how much do we continue to try to influence that? And what's the line between enabling bad decisions and bad behavior? If we continue to like, and not, our kids aren't doing bad. This is not about like our kids doing bad things. I'm not saying that at all, but like, let's even finances, like right now, neither of Jacob nor Maria can fully financially support themselves. So that means as parents, we're having to make the decision, how much of their rent do we pay? How much do they of their food? And if they have jobs, how much should I realistically expect that job
I view it
to pay
as
for? That's
our
hard.
job now as parents, especially adult kids, is to be their guardrails.
Yeah.
They're now driving down this highway
Yeah.
of life, and we're not in the car with them. They're on their own. We are the guardrails. And they may drift and they may bump into a guardrail, which is what happened this past week. Maria bumped into the guardrail and I had to be like, look, you swerved a little bit, And then her equivalent of saying, well, you made me feel sad is equivalent of getting mad at the guardrail for scratching your car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like but that's our job. Our job is to be the guardrails. Like my job is to make sure you don't go over the edge.
Yeah.
No, just stay straight. Like I get it. You're going to bump against the guardrails.
Right.
That's life. I'm 51 and I'm still hitting guardrails.
Yeah.
But my job is to make sure you don't swerve off the ledge.
Right.
And so, because there's going to be points and times in their life, it's going to be like Trail Ridge Road in Colorado going over. There's no guardrail.
Yeah.
And
it's terrifying.
Yeah. And so there's going to be moments in life where they're not going to have mom and dad to be that guardrail.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to make the wise decision on how do I navigate this path and until they can get back to maybe more guardrails.
And that's not even covering the other issues that you have just when, even if it's for temporary periods, when adult kids come back home after they've lived independently, little things from like, okay, we're not going to fall into the habit where I do all of everyone's laundry and dishes, like we all have to, but how do you work all that out? Like that's the other thing that's so hard at this stage because, they're in between. They've been very independent, but then sometimes they're back home and I don't know. I just think this is such a complex and difficult time to parent. And then it's even magnified by not all the kids are the same. What works for one kid is not going to work for another.
And I understand that's what makes it difficult with Maria. Josh has 2 feet in the house.
Yeah.
He's in high school. He ain't going anywhere.
We still can definitely tell him
Jacob
what
has
to do.
2 feet in a whole nother city because he's away at college, living on his own, doing his thing.
Right now.
Maria has 1 foot in the house, 1 foot out of the house.
Yeah, because she's like, for these months, I'm the furthest away of any of us. I'm 9 hours away living independently and no one knows what's going on. Or I'm living in the house with you.
I mean, literally if you take last year and this year, she's lived out of the house more than she's lived in the house.
Right.
And so it's navigating that with her and her trying to understand, helping her understand how does she coexist in 2 different worlds without disrupting and bringing chaos to both worlds and her own. Like I want her to be able to prosper and be successful in our house and out of our house. But that's the issue right now with having a daughter that's half in, half out is she's living at home, going to college, and it's...
And it's the same thing when Jacob comes home. Their hours are very different, and it might be different if we didn't have any pets that get stirred up, if anybody comes home late, or you're not trying to figure out who's really home for dinner, or, one of the things as simple as it sounds, but like when they're home, the adult kids, like, we don't have anything to eat. Well, you know what? We're not used to buying groceries, for you, or we don't know what you want to eat.
Yeah, I mean, I do the grocery shopping for 3 now.
Yeah.
I don't do the grocery shopping for 5.
Right.
So if you come home, I'm probably not going to have your favorite snack.
Right.
Because you don't live here anymore.
Exactly. Or your taste may have even changed, and we don't know that you don't like this anymore, or you do like this. And so those are just, these things sound so small and so minor, but it just makes things really complex. And I adore my children as we've joked. They can live with me forever. I know you don't feel that way, but
if they live with you forever, I will not.
And that will definitely derail this whole intersection.
That intersection will come around about.
Yeah, it's like when one car gets in the roundabout, another one has to get off. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, that's all to say. Right now, I mean, it's kind of hard. Life's complicated.
As always.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what's not complicated?
What?
Buying my book on Amazon. So just go to Amazon, Equipped, Fighting from Victory, Mike Giannopoulos, and Beth, hopefully yours will be out in the next week or 2.
Yes.
and we can start advertising that.
And buy that too.
And it'll be a competition to see who could sell the most books.
Oh gosh, here we
But
go.
I think you will. You have more Facebook friends. You have all these Salem friends that'll buy your book because they all adore you. And they can be like, look, a Salem sister wrote a book. And I don't have that. So you already have a built-in success. So if I end up selling more than you, then you're never going to hear the end of it.
I know. Trust me. So please, everyone, please do not let him sell more than me. I can't take it.
I mean, Oprah's people did reach out to me and ask about me being on her club.
Her book club of the month.
Yeah, I sent her one. We'll see what she thinks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got to really negotiate the right deal for that to happen. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, next time we need to talk about how I have my own lightsaber. Don't let me forget that.
Okay. So you acquired a lightsaber somehow.
Yes.
And
see, we have to do teasers like that, like Beth's new lightsaber.
and I will give an update on mine and Jacob's journey to Auburn, Alabama, and going to the Auburn, Georgia football game, and if we survived. And
Ooh, and my lightsaber does different colors and can talk.
Yeah.
And so I have to learn some like
and if
spinning
Maria's
things.
still living here a week from now, if one of us survived or both of us. And did Josh cut his hair yet? Those will be the big cliffhangers.
Yes, definitely.
Josh's hair is as long as it's ever been.
Yes, and it needs to be cut.
It's
at least
brutal.
out of his eyes. Yes. Mhm.
He looks like I said I wanted a doodle, and I feel like now my son is.
But he's the doodle that you haven't appropriately kept groomed.
I haven't. I need
You
to
have
take
not
him to the dog
groomed
groomer
doodle.
and be like, whatever you do to a doodle,
Do
do
that.
to Josh.
Get right on that.
Speaking of, you need to go pick Josh up at school.
Yes.
It's about that time.
All right.
All right, everybody. Until next week, this is Mike.
And Beth.
And this has been Hey, Are You Still There?